Which, by the way, the next match is Rov versus Ytterbijum. And Rov, obviously a very strong sniper.
Yes, we know who Opie is going to be cheering for because Camper's got to stick together.
Well, actually, I'd probably prefer to be playing Yitter. I don't like... I mean, playing campers is very honest in a way, but I feel like my style abuses behavioralism a little bit more than does camping, as far as that goes. So I'd say I'm probably a little bit leaning towards I'd prefer to play Yitter as far as styles go. And of course, Rob is a very deadly sniper in general. But, you know, whichever one wins is obviously going to be a tough matchup regardless, just because that's the nature of being in a semifinals. I see Rov on the spy side of gallery for our first... Oh, 1 second. I need to fix the scoreboard. I almost forgot to do that.
It's fine. We can just have Rov versus Cooper again.
Rov versus Ligor versus Koopa again.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And it appears we are doing the traditional ST chase.
The traditional ST chase that actually gets aborted before we get there. I think we didn't want to go for the 3-hit bookcase here, because this spacing is a little bit tight. 3-hit bookcase is no longer a very, very suspicious thing as it might have been in the past, but it still can be rough if you don't get the right spacing. We do go in for our first flirt, however, because our ST joins us at this pad.
I like that we bounce into and back out of conversation so that we can be closer to our ST.
It was a little bit
maybe this is Ligor after all.
Well, we're gonna get our second flirt here because our ST just wants to read. Just wants to read it in front of some paintings. Scout, have you ever gotten to an art gallery or a museum and just read a book in front of like the exhibit?
Have you seen these paintings, though? To be honest, I think that the book is significantly more interesting. And it looks like Rov is just chilling and keen on getting this flirt done early, which I don't object to it being gallery. But diverse mission progress is nice.
Yes, indeed it is. Stew Stun, of course, is great on gallery, but we've got nothing else going on.
So, gotta go get some shit done.
Looks like we're gonna go...
in this case...
Yeah, contact.
Oh. It would have meant to contact, but Irish is having... mate, there?
Yeah, the double agent is being quite indecisive here and baits us, makes us wait a little while to see if she'd go into that conversation, but actually just goes to the windows. So, no contact available for now. And honestly, gallery is one of those venues where contact is a lot weaker than it might be otherwise, just because of how many lowlights are usually available for a gallery contact. So, silent game's quite strong on gallery, in my opinion. And oftentimes, the party just kind of says, yeah, you're going to have to go silent game just because the double agent's not going to help you out. We're going to get our first print here. It's pretty late to be getting our first print, however. But we're going to go for this bug. There's a reason you play Kane. Kane is one of the 2 characters in the game where, you know, our snapback does not come back to our center. It's going to stay hidden behind our body the entire time, and I think we've just gotten away with, you know, what could win us the game, because now we're looking at a print contact finish. Irish does indeed join to a conversation. The ambassador slams that book back into blue, so we have finish right in the sights. Contact done. We're going to go on in for this print. It might be difficult if Twin puts us back a little bit too... Yeah, it's going to be a difficult print. That might be a problem. We're going to go for it. Oh, we hit it, and Rob is in mission win countdown, seemingly not a suspect at all, and it's reflected in the win percentage, 95% nearly.
And basically, it's that bug which wins us the game.
Yeah, and that's that bug. And as I was mentioning earlier, it's Kane is one of the two characters in the game where the neutral pose that they take when they're just standing at one of these window pads has his arm behind his body. Because anyone else except for Duke has their arm come back to their center. Let's see if I can find an example here. Like six, like this here from Seek, their arms would be clasped at their front. Most characters are like that, but instead Kane keeps it at the left, at the side, and that just makes it that much harder to see for the sniper, especially as we're returning a briefcase, so it feels like, we have a reason to stop there. So it's a very nice bug, a very nice spy game from Rov. Good opportunity taken, and that is going to be Rov going up 1-0 in the set, and of course, as I mentioned, Rov has a really, really deadly sniper, so I would not be surprised to see Rov going up 2-0 after this game. And this game getting started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Book rip?
Potentially, we don't go for it. We're just gonna sit here and stay at blue. But we are gonna take it out. We're not gonna rip it. So Rob has a chance to memorize that this was our book from blue. Of course, at the same time, we look less suspicious because we took it out after a correct interval.
We've gone in and gotten our first green flirt, which is always a nice start. I expect we're gonna wander about a bit before we put our book back. Oh, sick. I love it. The reading over the briefcase. We don't get the print, but it's... Oh.
Yeah, but Ytterbijum, you're playing against Rav. I feel like you're not gonna get rewarded for that. Rav is kind of a very campy player, and
you can play with style for the girls though.
You heard it here first. Read over a briefcase to get the girls.
Well, it's working. We're up to 85% on our
Did the read over the briefcase have anything to do with our flirt progress, though? Oh, we go for the bug, and it's not going to happen. Ambassador bounces away, so it's not going to take. Of course, it doesn't seem like it was on screen for Rob either.
Yeah, it's a shame, since we're not even a highlight from that attempt. I'm a little bit worried about where we're going to put this book back, because going to books early is often a chance for the sniper to actually notice what book you had.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'd be surprised if we stuck with it this long just to put it back, normally. Against some players, that might net you a low light, but again, it's Rav, and Rav is not willing to typically to low light for for speculative things like that.
Well, we're actually getting this print.
Yeah, we're getting our first print here, and we put it down pretty quickly. So maybe Rav misses that, especially with the ambassador outside, garnering some attention there. It's rather possible, actually, that Rav just missed that we have that fingerprint at all, because we put down that briefcase really quickly.
Looks like we might be setting up for a timeout here, which...
It's going to be a white test. We'll see if Rav notices.
It's sensible. Unfortunately, the place we were in the clock means there's going to be a beat soon as we flip back to 2 minutes.
Yeah, but the big question is, does that beat cause Rob to look at the clock, and does Rob remember who was outside for that? Looks like this book is going to go back into green here. It's kind of the moment of truth. Highlight. Yeah, I think Rob's sniffing this out. At the very least, Rob realizes he doesn't know where that book is from, and is giving credit for the microfilm. In a worse scenario, he's pretty sure that this book is from blue and is just waiting for that last confirmation. So both scenarios here not looking great for Ytterbijum, but contact does end up being pretty good here. Lots of people in for real, and we're not the only highlight. Even though we just did knock out a few highlights, there's a good chunk of highlights in this party, and it's very possible we could be finishing on the print here. Safety off. Was it onto us or was it onto Kane? I couldn't tell.
So we only need one more print to win, but I don't know whether we've been tracking enough that might have cooked for long enough. We're not going to Green Book seems like it will be immediately lethal.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
there it's going to get
maybe.
smudged
The
anyway.
question, I mean, the question is, does Rob know about the first print? Because Ambassador was indeed outside when we picked up that print. We didn't, leave it for long. There it is. Mission 1 countdown. Is Rob going to shoot us? It doesn't look like he's gearing up to do so. He's still looking outside at Oprah returning this briefcase, and yeah, Ytterbijum gets away with the spy game in what looked to be a little bit of dire straits. But the thing is, we got that print during a nicely timed window, and Rob just doesn't have it, looks like. And also, just the rest of the party is giving us enough cover to not get shot here, which is very nice. So well done from Ytterbijum to take that spy win right back, and we are all tied up out of gallery.
I also like the when we time ad is realizing we needed that time ad early enough on that we had enough time to go and finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Good time ad there for sure. Good decision there. We do have Rob on the spy side of Modern looking to replicate his success on Gallery and maybe patch up the failure on the sniper side. We'll see if Rob can make any kind of lead happen here, or if we're going to keep going dead even in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And it's a very subtle ST chase here. Unfortunately, it means we're a little bit further away than we could be for this first flirt, which will be, a green for 47%, not exactly what you want to see first up.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a green test, but the fact that you can't get 2 greens does smart a little bit. But it's pretty early on in this party. Just getting that progress in the first place is nice.
We're not immediately going off to do anything else, though. I wonder if we're going to try and timer flirt this.
Could be. Don't want to. Oh, if we're trying to timer flirt, that is, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, we're gonna see where Kane's gonna go.
Oh, is he coming back? Kane comes back! So 77% now on the flirt. So any half-decent white flirt is going to get us that completion. We have spent a long time in this conversation, though. Over a minute just getting 77% on the flirt. Now, of course, there's something to be said for letting the party build up suspicion over the course of the first minute or so before you start to do anything. It does help you get away with things, I think, when other people are already taking up the sniper's attention, but we're not really trying to get away with anything here. We're just going in for some inspects. I don't actually know if Ytterbijum highlights for inspect, but I don't believe they do. So this is fairly reasonable here for Rov. Getting a highlight for inspects really sucks, however, comparatively. We're going to step in next to the Ambassador here. I believe this is just in that range where we can standing bug, but we're not pushing the Ambassador away. So we have... Oh, no, we were just a little bit too close. I was wrong. The personal space was violated, and we don't end up getting that bug. Although I think we could have taken a reverse drive-by bug there anyways. It was pretty covered as far as the sniper view goes.
Well, we've at least finished our flirt. We only have 2 minutes left, though, and I get anxious when there is not sufficient buffer on the clock for my feelings.
Yeah, for sure. The lower the time gets, the harder it is to complete missions, and more importantly, the harder it is to complete missions without getting shot. The earlier you are in the game, typically the less willing snipers are to shoot you, if they're not certain. But if they're not quite certain, but you're finishing at 20 seconds left, a lot of snipers are just going to take that shot.
Well, we're going to pick up a delegate here. I wonder if we have a frame target in mind, or...
Perhaps. I mean, we could just be going for some kind of contact delegate and straight into statues idea, and just finish with the statues happening at the same time as the delegate. But we're not heading into conversation with a double agent. There's just not enough space there. Looks like we've decided, so we didn't try to force our way in. But we need to send this off quickly, or else you know, we need to send this off soon. We need to send this list off soon if we want to actually do it. 45 seconds now on the clock. It's just, we need to do something or else we're just going to lose this game.
Unfortunately, even if we send this off, it's going to go to an SDA.
Yeah, it's going to go to an SDA, but it's also going to Sari, and this, I think, is just going to take too long. At this point, this is not going to come off, and we're going to be in a really, really bad spot afterwards. We needed to play that a little bit quicker.
Well, we don't... Sari will be picking up a print here. If she wasn't an SDA, this could be quite good for us. We're finishing statues.
Swap, and the... Swap is seen regardless, and that's the thing, you know. Snipers are really watching for finishes at the last 20 seconds of this game. So even if this delegate doesn't fail, because it does end up expiring right before the swap happens, even if that delegate goes off, you're just being watched so hard in this late game. I think that if we go immediately in from bar into this conversation with a double agent, contact, send off the delegate as quickly as possible, you just have a little bit of a higher chance, because then you're going in for inspects and you don't need to swap. It's just a little bit more robust, a little bit less likely to get you killed in the end. But that does mean your Ytterbijum is going to go up 2-1. Of course, still needs to get a spy win by Rov. And having done it once, it's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult still. We'll see if Ytterbijum can do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I'd like to note the power play of Smallman Ambassador. I appreciate this. We're going in, getting our first flirt at 34%.
I mean, power play, but look at this. It's kind of hard to see where the ambassador is and if someone's bugging him. The fact is, with Smallman Ambassador, with you know, being behind so much cover, it can be hard to tell exactly who would be in range. That's the biggest thing. Like, you know where he is pretty much approximately, because you've got the purple arrow that you can see through stuff, but you can't quite see exactly where he is and exactly who could be bugging, perhaps. But we do pick up a highlight going into inspects. That is something that Rob does, and you never want to be highlight. Early inspects just kind of hurts. Because you're not finishing any missions.
Some of us it does.
It hurts me, okay? Because what have we gotten for this highlight? We've gotten 2 inspects and can later complete inspects, and they'll know for sure that you've completed the inspects because they have the highlight on you. Oh,
we just cheesed the delegate, by the way.
And safetied off onto us because of it. And that's the kind of thing that can get you caught, like, the highlight, like, I'm not sure how much the highlight affects that, but the fact that this is down to now we're just safetying off onto Yitter, this game is not going to go in Yitter's favor, and it might at least partially be because of that highlight we picked up.
Well, we're picking up a fingerprint. We've got our
we broke an animation on the statue put down, though. I think, however, as soon as this list goes, we're going to die. Yep.
Indeed. It was a nice delegate because Twin was a highlight. I mean, it's just a Twin highlight, but still something going to a highlight is nice.
Yeah. It's just that highlight status can be so difficult to shake, so difficult to kind of get away with things after you pick it up, and the progress you get out of 2 inspects is not worth it. So we are going to get on over into Tayen now, with the score all tied up. Set is anyone's to take. We'll see if someone can sweep this one, take a decisive lead in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We're off playing Pearls, the slowness of whom is very mitigated on a small venue like Tayen. There's just not much walking to be done on Tayen, so you can easily play a slow character and not be punished too much for it.
We have a 50% flirt, and our ST is helpfully going away to make our timer expire sooner.
Yeah, we can follow them if we like, or we're gonna act as if we were going for that briefcase, which I think is etiquette-wise, that is correct. And we just bounce out to our ST. Unfortunately, we're not next to them, even though there was a spot. Look at that. Duke just occupied it. We get another green test, but it's not going to be that 2 green that we wanted. It's a 2 green with 79% instead of 100%.
And now we have that flirt, but what else? We have an ambassador next to us.
We could go for a bug. Honestly, that was pretty well covered, and Pearls has an infamously good standing bug. The lean is very hard to notice, so we definitely could have taken that, although it's kind of hard to... It can be very difficult sometimes to correctly identify what the sniper can and can't see. That's a really, really big skill as far as getting bugs, as far as getting a lot of hardtails.
Especially with the Shoji on Taein, trying to judge what those are covering.
Yeah, absolutely. Every venue has its own challenges as far as like the angles and the cover that you're getting. And Taein, despite the fact that the Shoji make it pretty difficult for the sniper, it also makes it difficult for the spy to say, yeah, they can't see this.
Now, we shifted away from the back conversation, which had both the real DA and our seduction target in it. And I'm not sure what the plan is to finish here.
Well, nothing so far. We're just gonna get our flirt contact, looks like. Not even contact now with the double agent leaving.
I think now is when we need a timeout or to start rushing. Sari is a very nice frame target at this point. She's done center statues and it has at least one print. And possibly a bug.
Yeah, I mean, if we purloined for Sari perhaps, there might be some idea there. Or if we got a contact with her in, which would be available now, we could join the other conversation to get our own contact fulfilled. It's definitely possible to get someone else shot in this game, but it's the odds of our own missions being complete are going down and down and down. And look at that, the SDA leaves the other conversation, which is going to hurt a lot if we wanted to get Sari shot. Nothing seems to be happening here. Contact's off.
Sari takes, unfortunately, so we can't purloin for her.
Well, we did purloin anyways, but it's still not going to be our last mission. We still need one more after that, so we could just end up timing out before this purloin even gets taken. That's something that could happen here. Bug happens, it fails, and we get the bug. We get the bug in the end, and Kane rejects. So he's in the chain here. There's gonna be a hang. I think Kane's gonna get shot here. Wow! No way!
That bug, though.
Oh, the bug just barely in time. We go for the crash bug, and actually, I think the Amba helps us by moving out of this spot here. The fact that he moved out of this spot and toward us makes it easier to get this bug without being seen. And Kane rejects, which, if we hadn't gotten the bug, would have been disastrous, because we wouldn't have overtime. But because we get the bug, Kane ends up getting shot. That's... Wow. Rav gets away with that spy win. Whew, and it felt a little bit panicked from Rav, I'll admit. But it did work. It did work. We got there in the end.
We were definitely mashing right click at the end there. But if it works...
If it works, indeed, if it works, and the question is, does Rav's sniper work on Taein? That's what we need right now to get the advantage. We'll see if Rav can do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bit of bouncing around. We're not going to land next to IST at statues, perhaps having learnt from the whole highlight on Modern thing.
maybe we have learned from that. No early contacts here, although early contacts on Taein are probably some of the better early contacts to take. Typically early contacts are pretty... Oh wow, we go for a fake.
And the end of red.
And it's a known fake. We know it's a fake in the front conversation for Rav. So we're gonna have a couple lowlights. Do we see highlights in the back conversation? That's the payoff we're looking for here. If you're Ytterbijum. because you want to have more highlights in the party that aren't you to soak up that attention. But it doesn't look like we're getting any highlights in the back. You know, Rav might be aware that they're the only ones with real, but they're not going to pick up the highlights that might give us some.
And the Ytterbijum.
Okay, now we go for another fake, and okay, now everyone in the party has a real, in Rav's eyes, which could be rough. In fact, you. I guess we're
like
trying to
this-
frame our ST.
I like this contact just in that. No, we obviously were tracking who was out for the contact before, and we don't gain any extra lowlights for it.
I guess we don't. Did we not get one extra low light? I thought we had one extra low light.
I don't think so.
Anyways, we are trying to
Timeout?
trying to frame Tex. It looks like is in this game. We did red test him around a little bit. He has contact, so you know it's gonna. I imagine the next step you have to take if you're gonna be framing. Oh my gosh, you have to take a bug there. You have to take a bug there. You have to take that bug because you're being credited with the bug. Oh. Oh no, you can't take that path and not take the bug. Oh no.
It's fine. We're fine.
We
Well,
red
apart
test
from the
Tex
fact
again.
that we don't have any mission progress, but apart from that, we're fine.
Apart from the fact that we don't have any mission progress, we're fine.
I mean, Tex is now going to the second set of bookshelves.
I think we also just broke etiquette by sipping at the end of our talk, which is illegal.
Well, that's slightly unfortunate.
I don't think Rob cares. We need to purloin for Tex. That's what needs to happen in this game. That's the only way we have to win is to get Tex shot. But even then, it's going to be difficult because it's just okay. Tex that just walks away, and now he's already been offered, so Toby won't offer him again. Oh, that's brutal. There's just so little way to win this.
We're gonna purloin anyway, maybe?
Yeah, what's that gonna do? We don't have any progress. Oh, we get some progress!
Okay, we have a contact. We just need to purloin.
We just need to purloin bug swap or something.
There's gonna be no overtime. Oh no!
We just need to do all hardtails in the last 50.
Do another crash bug into.
Yeah, but we don't have flirt this time. It wouldn't have worked.
Oh.
Oh no.
Because if Tex had rejected, we hit the green. Then
I think if Tex rejects, you have to immediately request and take a white. Is the thing because you don't have the luxury of making the clock hang. That's one of the big problems with having no progress when you're trying to frame someone. You can't make the clock hang for them.
Aww.
Oh, brutal. Brutal game. Just nothing about that frame game really working out. And we got credited with a bug that we didn't have. Like, oh well. Rob now up 4-2. And remember what we said, Rob Sniper, it's scary. And if that's all Rob needs now. Rob doesn't need to win any more spy games, although of course he will be trying to the whole way through. Rob doesn't need any more spy games. He just needs to win all the sniper games, and that is a berth to the semifinals. If that is going to be the case, Ytterbijum needs something big. Needs to hold sniper, and then needs to find a spy win against like Rob. It's just really difficult. So we'll see how things go. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Hey, early flirt.
Early flirt?
Cheese flirt.
Yes!
Approving of this?
Yes! I do approve. Cheese flirt, always good. And until you get shot for it, but like usually good. I mean, you don't get shot for it very often. I get shot for like 1 in maybe 80, 90 games. I call that worth.
I mean, the disgusting thing about cheese flirt is just how effective it is, especially if you're playing 21 guest library.
Stress. Lots of guests on library. That does somewhat offset the difficulty in getting 4 missions.
We're definitely coupling up with our ST now. We've got our second white flit done.
Who doesn't want cuddles though, really?
I mean,
I know Salmon wants cuddles. That's why he's reading that book over there. he's reading. It's a steamy romance novel where all of the characters are just in a big cuddle pile.
Anyway, we're now at 3 minutes 20 and we have 68% on the flirt and nothing much else, and we now have a drink in our hands, which I don't think has any particular interest to us apart from stopping us going to books or statues.
Did you know that having a drink in hand is worth like a couple percentage points on the win percent?
I did not, but
it's very amusing.
But does it help you flirt?
Having a drink? Depends on the person, I guess.
I mean, they say it helps.
Some people are plenty smooth without drinking. And of course, like that probably said that someone is Sikh in this party. Obviously, since Sikh is just drinking water.
We've chugged this drink in record time, and also gotten our flirt done now. But again, it's now 2 minutes 20, and we have no progress other than flirt done. Yeah,
we've chugged our drink in record time, but we haven't gotten our missions done in record time. We've only got the one.
And we're not gonna take a purloin. We're gonna
contact.
It's a bit of a rough contact right at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's Rob up to here. Looking for something, but that something is not really materializing. And especially when the fact is you need 4 more missions, and AIs are not typically likely to get shot on library. It's very hard to get frame games done, let alone just having an AI get shot.
We're being offered yet again.
And we don't take a purloin again. I think at this point we might need to, honestly. We might be looking for a bug as the ambassador is going to inevitably be pushed out of here. But no, we don't even move on that. We're just stalwartly planted here. And now we finally get moving. Going for a maybe... No, there's no double agent over here. What are we doing? I guess we have to time ad? Time ad on the other side from the ambassador and Toby. That's a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, well, we definitely needed that. No win was happening without that, but now what's the plan?
What is the plan indeed?
I mean, looking at art is nice, but we have a job to do. Might get in trouble with, like, bosses and things.
Who is our boss as the spy? Like what agencies are we working for? You know.
Has the meta been crafted to like government presumably?
Probably. Wait, I thought we were gonna go for that bug. It would have been nice. We would have gotten. Oh, we're trying to frame swap. We're trying to act like we got called for a swap. And so, we swap and hope someone dies.
And to be honest, at this point in the game, not terrible, and that was a nice wee fuck call. I mean, don't know if it was necessarily noticed.
Well, the thing is, it was off-screen. A bug would have also been off-screen.
I don't even think the swap's been noticed yet, necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so, but now you need to find a contact with your frame target. I don't even know who the frame target is. I don't know. Like, you need to find a contact with them but contact's really bad right now, and there's only 23 seconds left to find one, and nothing's really working out for Rob, and it looks like this is probably going to be a hold.
There's a lot that's coming off, so I presume Yetta has the swap, but isn't taking this.
Yeah. It's just really hard to get frame games to work, and look at this white test timer right at the end here, and that was completely on screen. Yep, takes the shot. Whoa, not much happening there. We played a really slow game, and both times the spies have tried to make a slow frame game happen. Neither one has really worked out. We did see the late rush on TN, but that actually got to mission completion is a thing. That's one of the big differences sometimes between frame games is if the spy is also a mission win countdown, because then you have that backup of
So
being able to
obviously
actually
the
have
thing to do,
missions done.
if you want to do this, is rather than needing to time ad at the end there and beep beeps and die, you pick Smallman and you do 4 time ads at the start.
See, so the thing is, I've seen people I've seen people highlight Smallman for having missed a lot of time ads because they're like, who could have done so many watch checks that quickly? Only Smallman.
All right, then pick someone who isn't Smallman and do 4 time ads.
Oh, okay. I assume we were trying to pick Smallman so we wouldn't get caught doing them. Anyways,
we can frame Smallman for time ads.
Frame Smallman for time ads. Now that's an idea, Scout. You should try it out sometime. In the meantime, however, Ytterbijum is playing as Rocker on the spy side, trying to even this set up in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Flirt Chase go Burr.
Indeed, a Flirt Chase do go Bird. She's going to step into this conversation. We're going to follow her. Nice little synchronized turn toward the center. And we cheese Flirt! Yeah, get her. Get it going.
That was a kind of beautiful, just landing so conveniently next to our ST. We've gotten rid of this drink. I approve. We have hands free now.
We're completely hidden behind this pillar actually right now. We could have done time out for sure if we wanted to without being seen at all. But instead we're going to go in for a print, which this is not distracted from at all. So this is definitely going to be seen. We're going to try for a bug here on the way in. No, we don't.
Ooh, I like the wee little reposition.
That is a thing that AO will do pretty regularly. And Rav, I think, though, is crediting the bug.
That's a shame, especially since we missed the difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried to do it while we were walking, and that's always so much harder.
That's just sadness right there, for sure.
And not being able to get in close enough to Queen now means we're on 95%. This isn't too bad, apart from the fact that we've got credited with a bug, because pacing-wise, we're doing all right.
With Flirt, we don't have anything else.
Yeah,
if we had the print, I'd be much more confident in our pacing.
In the Ytterbijum.
Fake contact is interesting. Again, not something that's typically going to get you credit from Rav.
Well, and also, unfortunately, only one conversation actually gets given real from this.
Yeah, 3 lowlights, so not too bad as far as costs go on that one, but what to do from here?
We're taking a book, but we're definitely on screen, and also we're a highlight. It doesn't look like we're going to be taking this out, given how long we've had it now.
Well, we do. Ytterbijum heard you, and decided, no, I want to take it out, I don't get this Flirt.
Well, we now have 1 mission done.
Woo!
I think this is the point at which a time ad could be cool.
Yeah, both these players playing very slowly this set. It's so far not been the most successful thing in the world. Both players are very willing to hold it would seem.
This contact isn't brilliant either.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ytter is holding on it, also realizing this.
Here it is, contact. We're gonna split out of the conversation. Oh, we're not gonna get the low light. We tried. So what we tried to do is we tried to have that conversation and open up the book before Rav could see the open animation. Because if we can do that in time, oh yeah, look at that safety off onto us because we just opened that book too quickly. That's the downside of that attempted play, right? Is that we do try and fail to get to get that low light, and because we try to get the low light, we're all the more suspicious for it. We're the only highlight of this party, down to a minute left in the clock. it doesn't even... We don't have anything, but Rob is so sure that we got shot on the talk.
Well, that's a little bit unfortunate, because we get highlight for a bug we don't take.
Yeah.
And that kind of decides the game for us.
It certainly didn't help. And now Rav onto veranda as the spy. And Ytterbijum is running out of time. Needs just needs something. Needs a spy win somewhere, somehow. But it's been difficult. Rav's just a deadly sniper. I'm gonna get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And look at this, we're doing some A-grade bouncing to... Unfortunately, we're bouncing against our ST, so we're actually making him bounce more. And oh no, it's a veranda conversation.
It's a veranda conversation, no!
After all that beautiful effort on bouncing, we don't get the flirt.
Oh, it's tragic.
Okay, this time?
No, we're not even close enough for a bug here either, and the master moves away anyways.
But we're on top of a briefcase, so if we get that before Kane does...
We do not. We're playing a slow game, Scout! The question is, will it work this time?
Okay, flirt. We can do this. We're nice and snuggled up. Unfortunately, it's only a white test, which we're now down to 3 minutes on veranda, and I'm beginning to have some concern.
Okay, we get a request. Are we gonna go for... I think this might be printable is the idea. Yes, indeed, it is printable, so we pick up that. That's gonna help us out a little bit. Another flirt, 84%, and we could finish up prints pretty quickly here. The question is, will Yitter know that we have prints? I'd go for this briefcase immediately, honestly.
I like the drink print because that's just so much harder to track than briefcase prints, which normally you'll just get credited with one, whether or not there was one on there.
Yeah. The different places you can get prints from definitely affect how suspicious, how likely you are to get caught for it. And tray prints in particular are infamously difficult to catch. Because that's a moving target, right? And people already sometimes will lose track of purloin, let alone a print on the same kind of drink.
So, you being the camper and all-seeing, what has Damon done at this party that has earned him a highlight?
Not his job, that's the problem. If he were doing his job, he might have noticed a sniper outside and taken them out.
We have flirt done, but we need another 3.5 minutes.
We're down to 1 minute 40 on the clock. We've spent so much time in this game not getting this briefcase. And we're continuing not to get it because it would be an etiquette breach to try to take it here because the ambassadors are a little bit too close. We've spent a long time really not doing this party, and it's just looking harder and harder to complete.
Nice bouncing. Nice bounce.
It's a useless conversation though. Is it? Wait.
No,
Double Agent's here.
we
Double
have
Agent's
PA.
here. Double Agent is here. I was wrong. White test with Toby
White
behind
and
us. It's never fun. That's a really long white test as well. Purloin to white test.
White purloin.
Probably death, if I had to guess, because look at this check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit rough there. A game in which the spy did nothing much, and then white purloined and died.
It could have been pretty nice if we had hit greens. I mean,
yeah, I mean, so the thing is,
so was
like,
everything really.
Yeah, true. So greens can definitely save plays that would not otherwise work. But I feel like if you're relying on greens to win the game, you're already not in a great spot. You really want to play a lot of the time, as much as you can, to be agnostic of your AT rate. Although, if you have a good AT rate, you can probably lean into getting better, getting green tests more often. It's a very you know, it really depends on how good your green test rate is and how much you're willing to trust that. But you can definitely play in a green agnostic way, I think. And that was not a green agnostic way. We will see Ytterbijum on the spy side here. Once again, this is one of the last 2 opportunities to bring this back that Ytterbijum will have, this time on Veranda, next time on Ballroom. We'll see if Ytter can do it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Back.
Wow, that landed? Wait, what?
It landed.
I feel like I need to go back. We don't have a highlight. I feel like I need to go back and watch that because that I didn't even realize.
Transfer while we're doing
progress. We're getting so much progress early on. It's beautiful.
That was just so beautifully off screen while Sniper was doing housekeeping. Oh. And we have 1.5 missions done clean.
Yeah.
1.5
really nice.
hardtail missions done clean as well.
That's so nice. 47% flirt now, and compared to our previous endeavors, we are on a roll here as Ytterbijum. I would like to see us maybe just jump in next to our ST again, get another flirt off. Yeah, there we go, Yitter. That's so far away though. Why? Why are you going so far away? I mean, you're still within this, 34% range, so you're fine, but.
So now we're just here out of politeness, pretending to our ST that it wasn't just to flirt with them that we came to books. And we're lining up for a contact by the look of it.
Yeah. But
it's not too bad, but it's... Sorry?
We were double zooming onto the Seek, I was thinking, so if we knocked him out for the contact, it would be a little bit rough. The problem is it's really hard for Ytterbijum to see if the contact is good from this position in conversation. We're going to go for it anyway. Get a couple lowlights, quite a few lowlights here. Contact off.
In fact, we have lost all of our highlights at this point, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes, right? With these random conversations, especially when you're in the back here. You really can't tell if a contact is good or not, and in this case, it wasn't all that good. We got 6 lowlights, and a lot of them were highlights.
We have a drink. I don't think it has any. Oh no.
Yeah, we really.
And now because we have a drink, we can't follow our ST to books, and that wasn't the time ad. We'll just continue sipping this drink down and.
Yeah, we need something here, and that something needs to be flirt and finishing up microfilm. And it could be good. The problem is doing this after contact. If you're doing action micro, you want to do it after contact and also before you go for these inspects. Because the sequencing of this matters a lot, because if you do this perhaps after, before contact, not after contact, but before contact. You do it before those two things. And there's just a lot more attention given to other characters in the game that aren't you. So you're just more likely to be getting away with your action test and micro at that point. But in this case, now we need to really get moving as far as the action test micro goes and finishing up statues. It's still not impossible to win this, especially with the ambassador over on the left side of the venue, but Toby's here next to us, which can be an issue as far as attention goes. We need to start moving now, though. And we're going to go into statues first. Interestingly enough.
I think we've given up on micro. I think we might just be inspect swapping here.
It's possible. It seems a little bit weird, but you see Rob rotating around to get the angle on the swap. So
okay, we're not going to be swapping here.
Definitely not going to be swapping. Oh, we swap in the end, but Rob is rotating back around. Yeah, we did indeed give up on the animation micro, but I think that you probably want to follow through with that. You just need to sequence it a little bit differently, and Yitter had a chance at a pretty nice spy game if we just finish up that micro at some point without being seen, but instead
I think
Rob
we just didn't realize how free that first micro was.
I'm surprised that we didn't, because I really think that it was pretty clear just how covered up we were. And let's go look at that bug again, because the fact that this takes is ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. The bouncing
You
works
just
out perfectly. It's such a hard
hit
bug
the
to
magic
take.
hitbox.
See, the thing is, the spy has no control over whether that takes or not. You just stick out your arm and hope.
And sometimes it works.
And sometimes
doing
indeed,
stuff is good.
And sometimes indeed it works. Doing some stuff is good, but unfortunately, we did not get away with all that.
So Rov has a
6
guaranteed
points. Yeah, guaranteed
tie
overtime.
into overtime. Yes, Yitter now has the sweet ballroom, which is not impossible.
Yeah, ballroom is definitely a very balanced venue, and has a lot of opportunity for the spy to take wins off of snipers. But first, you need to hold down the sniper side for Ytterbijum, and Rov playing on match point, looking to tie things up, or rather, not tie things up, but wrap things in a bow is a little bit of a better term since we already have the term tie things up for different scenarios. We're going to wrap this semifinals berth up into a bow and gift it to himself as a present in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Sometimes similes work out, and other times they don't so much.
That works great. I don't know what you're talking about, Scott.
Well, we have that early flirt, like we've had every other game, and now...
The question is, do we get anything else compared to every other game?
We're gonna go follow in, finish this flirt in a second. Another white test. It's not too bad. We're on 68. We're here with the double agent. Oh, we were. But so what would you be doing here, Opie? Since you enjoy criticizing people so much.
Wow, I see. Well, I certainly wouldn't be standing here waiting for a timer flirt. I would probably be bouncing away. I've been making note of where prints are currently. Given the ambassadors on the right side of the venue, and there's not really much solid cover anywhere, we could probably try for waiting until perhaps the party kind of shifts over to the right side of the venue, take out a blue book, and go from there. Rov looks like might be going for a Softail game actually, because this is not a printable statue, but there is a statue that is printable across from us on the left side of these. We get the single cycle 2 inspects, very strong on things that aren't ballroom.
Unfortunately, our timer flirt didn't actually work out, given that our ST took a drink and left just as the timer went up.
Yeah, looks like we are going to pick up this print. I'd like to just see this put down. Don't return this. Well, we've returned it. So if you just put it down there, you're actually blending in really hard into the green book in the background, and you're behind this entire conversation. And Yitter was not
breaking the rules.
Yeah, but Yitter was not taking an angle to where that was very obvious that you were taking this briefcase. So I think you might have been able to get away with a print here, which would be a huge, huge victory going forward, because then you could just go back to the printable statue, which has been cooking for quite a while, get prints, get full inspects, and you might actually have a really nice Softail game on the cards. Ooh, the double agent leaves us though. That's gonna hurt us a lot. That's gonna make things a lot more difficult. That's just brutal.
Not as many low lights taken as were available, so we've only lost 2 from that contact.
That said,
But
look
yes.
at that. Rob is frustrated at the fact that the low-lit twin is smudging the print on that left statue. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. And instead, we're going to go in for this briefcase, which I don't think is printable.
Isn't this the one that we put down before?
It's not the same one. Oh, we're going to try to go for a purloin in the middle of nowhere, but it's going to be a white test.
No, not the white test. Not like this.
The shot comes off. Rob dies.
Aww.
Yeah.
White test purloin really hasn't been working out for the spies this set.
White test purloin rarely does. And so Rob does not quite get on to the semifinals yet. But Rob does get the slight ballroom to try to clinch things. And if Ytterbijum manages to fight back on the spy side, we will be going to balcony overtime, as is tradition in the Summer Cup. It is going to be infinite balcony, where a player must sweep the venue, sniper and spy, to win the set. So we'll see if we get there. Ytterbijum on the spy side, fighting for their tournament life. We're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And we're gonna settle early on. We're alone in this conversation, so we can quickly bail on it. Yes? And
I mean, technically at that point it was not required, but it was still allowed to bail on that conversation. So we do head in 49% on the flirt. So we are still in range for 2 green flirt as long as we get closer to our ST next time. Being offered, we reject, but it's not a purloin. Reject by wheels as well. If we get like imagine if you knew what AIs were going to reject and what AIs were going to take beforehand as the spy, how much that would change purloin options.
Doesn't change it very much if you're not sure you're not going to hit a green.
Well, I mean, true, but if if you know that you're going to get a chain in front of you or behind you of like 2 or 3 people, that makes a green test a lot more appealing.
We're being offered again.
Yeah, it's just come right back around to us, and we're just going to take an innocent drink here.
Okay, that fade was being watched for, though, at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's something that Rob's going to be watching for quite closely.
Another green test, and
red.
we didn't shimmy closer, so that's 98%. We have a BB, 2 lowlights.
Oh yeah, only 2 lowlights, which is nice. Queen now heading into center statues after getting a contact. If we swap for her, she might die, but then again, it's likely that our fate will be watched for. That's the big issue there. I wonder if that's what Ytterbijum is going to try, and if it will work. Looks like no.
I really don't think we should be trying to timer flirt this last one.
Yeah, timer flirting for 2% is not usually what you wanted to be doing. Ambassador's going to come up next to us. We definitely could have taken this bug here. Rob wasn't on the right rotation to see it, but Ytterbijum not confident enough in that idea. And we do take the flirt. Now 1:30 left on the clock. What do you do from this spot? We've wasted... I don't know about wasted, but we've spent so much time letting the party accrue suspicion, but we haven't got any missions of our own except for the flirt, and that's kind of assumed from Rob's perspective.
If we know that Queen and the others are more suspicious, we could try and
Well, we should know. We should know, because we did contact with them in with the real DA.
We could try and get them a purloin?
That is certainly one way of doing things. If you see Queen reject, you can try to make a purloin happen there. Even on a white test, you might be able to win the game from if Rob isn't completely certain about the fade.
Banana bread.
Contact. Looks like we're going to try for a pearl after. It's going to be a green test this time around, but it's going to go straight into the double agent. That can't be something that's happy for Ytterbijum, because once this purloin gets seen, we are just the one who dies. Center inspects.
We're at center statues.
We swap and meet. Whoa!
Oh no! Oh no!
That
must have been an action priority.
Maybe, because if you're swapping, you probably go into left statues, right, or side statues.
Because we only get highlight for the center statues. If we had inspected, we might well have won.
I think that Rob was probably waiting for a 2-cycle on the statues, is my guess. But it's definitely better than a swap to be doing the inspects.
Oh.
And that does mean that Rob finishes up the set 7-5. A nice attempt for Ytterbijum, but it's just not enough. Rob's sniper ends up being a little bit too dominating, and Rob is going to go on to the semifinals to face yours truly.
Indeed. Which will be live cast tomorrow.
Yes, live cast tomorrow, followed by the other semifinals match, which is going to be Legorv Janine versus Beanie. So that's going to be very, very exciting. I hope to see everyone there for that. And this game has been SpyParty. And if you want more SpyParty or want to buy the game, you can buy it off of SpyParty.com or on Steam. We typically recommend you buy it on SpyParty.com because you do get a Steam key anyways, and it supports the dev that much more. If you're interested in any kind of more competitive SpyParty stuff, you'll be wanting to look at the Discord, discord.gg/SpyParty. That is where pretty much all competitions, all discussion of the game goes on. That is a great community. Please come join if you are interested. We'd love to have new players. And thank you, Scout, for casting with me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be seeing you tomorrow for the semifinals cast.